Hello Mzansi and welcome to episode 204 of Farmers Inside Track. I'm your host, Dawn Mdu. This week we meet the co-founder of A&B Williams Fruit Distributors, Bevin Williams. They built a fruit packaging and transport business from the ground up over the past 25 years. And in this edition, he talks more about what it takes to survive and thrive in Mzansi's agri sector. Bevin Williams, thank you so much for joining us here on Farmers Inside Track. Maybe just as a start, a bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? What is your role in agriculture?
Thanks for having me. I live in Pinyal, grew up in Pinyal, and working for my father in his business, where I get all the experience from. Next year is 25 years in the business, and learned the experience of my father. Didn't go to varsity to get my education. Experience is one thing that money can buy.
I can definitely echo that sentiment and say that so many of the things that people don't realize is that you need to work and continue working and grow and learn in yourself. And I mean, 25 years is a long time, so congratulations on that. Maybe just more about the work that you're doing within the agricultural space, almost like a middleman between farmers and the market.
I do. I bought in fruit from farmers, bring it to my pack set in Grabouw, store it there in my cold rooms, and then pack it there for whenever the market is ready. I got a company named K5. I do all my export, and then all local fruit I market myself through the different platforms, Freshmark, Choppers Botswana, Nutri-Prick, New Fresh, and obviously supplying the local supermarkets and the local markets in South Africa. Whenever the market is ready or the price is ready, I market all my fruit through the municipal markets.
How have you seen the business, changing from when you started working with your father to date? The climate has changed, business climate has changed, everything has changed. What advice do you have also to people maybe entering into the same space or similar space that you're working in?
My father was mostly a jumbo guy. He was only doing jumbles, and when we started our business, we want to expand our business and be 12 months of the year market fruit, and that's where we started with the CA rooms, building the CA rooms to have access fruit 12 months of the year. What we see in the market is that the farmers see what we do and they start with the jumbo fruit. We're getting competitive now with jumbo fruit. We only source fruit then in season time, but end of the year, the fruit is scarce. If there's fruit available, the quality is not so good, and then it's in a high price, and that's why we built the CA rooms. And 90% of our fruit we bought in the season by farmers, and so we give it a go and change our model that we're not doing any more jumbos. We do so supermarkets, that's obvious, the export. So we change our business more to export and local supermarkets, and then the 12%, 50% fruit which is in a bin, that go to the jumbo market. That's mainly our business model now. At this stage, we're about 50% export and 50% local fruit that we source in. But our model would change in the past years. We do more export and less local, because the local market's getting competitive now with all the farmers putting fruit on the market for any price. And what happened this year was tough this year with the oranges. With the high cost of shipping lines, most of our citrus farmers can't export the class 2 oranges now. And citrus is coming on the local markets, have a direct influence in our local sales.
Maybe just some of the lessons learned in terms of the export market. What can you say in terms of your experience exporting your produce?
Export is difficult. It's all about quality. You must make 100% sure quality is good, that you put in the box and put the right fruit on the market at the right time. So I don't follow programs. I want to pack fruit when the market is ready. That is my biggest aim. And I don't want to pack fruit because I must pack fruit because I don't have enough cold room space and don't have enough bins, you see. That is my motto. Don't buy a lot of fruit. Buy just enough fruit that I can handle through the season. And if there is a lot of fruit in the markets, everybody's suffering. The price drop and you must sell.
Just in terms of your future plans, you mentioned that your son is studying at Elsenburg. Maybe just to talk about what you foresee for your future within the agricultural sector, maybe even moving towards primary agriculture.
My future plan is that one day I will see that my son get on a farm for him, that he do the farming, the father will do the marketing, distribution of the fruit. He's keen to one day be a farmer to help our country for food supply in the future.
Maybe just last and final comments to farmers, looking to export their produce. What should they be thinking about?
I think the export is getting difficult for us now. Our Western Cape farmers, we must consider a 90% plus color for export fruit. The fruit with a less color struggle in the export market, and there's a big premium for fruit with a 70% plus color. The growth in the market, Middle East, Asia, there is a lot of growth there that we can still get in markets for.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Farmers Inside Track. That is Bevin Williams, the co-founder of A&B Williams Fruit Distributors. Next up, and before we let you go, we celebrate this week's hashtag Soil Sister, Thobeka Mbatha, who went from working in a factory to farming. She talks more about her journey getting into agriculture and more about life on the farm.
After matric, I was working at the factories. I started 2012. We were producing the cosmetics. Around 2014, I resigned, thinking that I'm not getting much money. I'm just getting money just for transport, food, and the rent only. Then I just rethink about something that it can make me better maybe in future. I just resigned without expecting any assistance from anybody, just resigned because I just took that risk to resign and just to rethink something else. Indeed, I resigned. By the same day that I resigned, supposed to go back to work that day, I was working night shift, wire non-stop. I wake up around 12:30 to 1. Watching the TV. That TV, it was presented by Kamuhelo, the successful lady in farming. She was hosting them kids, the associates. They were in the Abatane Prolas. They were explaining how do they raising the chickens, how do they processing the chickens. They were sharing that they are doing trainings also. I got interested on that things. Even got their contact details and I start Googling and researching about the chickens and going to knocking to our Department of Agriculture looking for information. But then luckily Department of Agriculture, they find me with a grant to go to KZN Institute, KZNPI Institute to learn about growing the chicken. Then after I did go associate also for the poultry production skill. Then I keep on knocking indoors. I go to EP, Gauteng Enterprise Propeller. It's a program who they are funding their business ideas. Just applied there, I got successfully approved. They just fund me with a grant to install one structure for 500 chickens and 500 chickens and the equipment inside, everything, production input. I registered my company 2015. Then I started farming in 2018 with a backyard within 2 rooms. I'm farming only the broiler. I'm into crops also. The neighbors are coming for spinach now.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Farmers Inside Track, Thobeka. You can of course read more about her farming business and journey in agriculture on www.foodformzansi.co.za. And that's a wrap from me, Donumdu, our producer Megan van der Vent, and the rest of the Food for Mzansi team. Have an awesome week. Bye for now.
Life in South Africa can be a lot. I mean, scroll through Twitter for a minute and tell me I'm wrong. Thank God for South Africans though, right? We're inspiring, and even on the bad days, we fight back with a smile. That's why I love Food for Mzansi so much. They're not ashamed to celebrate the ordinary unsung heroes who work every day to put food on our nation's tables. Go to foodformzansi.co.za and never miss an inspiring story.